I'm Richard Flanagan. I go by the name of Dick. When I left the service, I was a radioman second class. Finally, I got aboard the Bang, and I met the crew, and I became fast friends with a number of them. Didn't get along too well with my chief because he didn't like guys from New York. And he certainly let us know it. Chief radioman. And I was third class at the time. And so I was working to get my dolphins, and I was up to date. And what our problem was, he said, I never recommend a man for the test for second class unless he's qualified in submarines. And I said, but my recommendation was in for my last duty station to take the test for second. He said, well, I'm sorry, you're not. So I went and I put in to see the skipper. And Stu Savage, great captain. He was only a lieutenant that time. He came aboard as a lieutenant. And I said, I want to get disqualified from submarines. And he said, why? And I said, well, King, my recommendation was in. I was up to date on my qualifications for getting my dolphins, for getting, my fins. And he canceled my recommendation. He said, you can't do that. I said, well, he did it. He said, I'll tell you what, you stay aboard. He said, and if he doesn't recommend you, I will. I said, fair enough. I stayed aboard. I was happy as a lark. I mean, the guys, when I see the guys here, it's like old home, The chief recommended me. And it's funny, when I made second, we were up in the shipyard up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And I had a group. We were cleaning out the bilges, taking the weights out, and to clean them and everything, and clean the bilges, and then put them back in. And he came up, he says, Flanagan, he said, you made second. I said, thank you, Chief. Never congratulations, never nothing. And it kind of spoiled my outlook of what everything was all about. Myself and another fella from New York, Roger Kelderhouse, anytime there was something tough to do, King made these guys from New York, him and I, we were up on the sail in storms and changing the whip antenna. And Kelderhouse, I was tall, I was 6'4½", and Kelderhouse was a lot shorter. And he'd hold on to my belt and hold on to one of the scopes like this, and I'd be taking the whip antenna off and then handing it down, and then I'd take the new one, and this thing is like 30 feet up in the air, and it was up to your chest, so you had to hold it up there and then get it on this spike and let it hold itself. And he must have had us change that 2 or 3 times in the 2 years I was aboard.